Today, I'm going to be making Paul Hollywood's Seriously Chocolatey Fudge Cake Mix. Now, if this sounds familiar, it's because it is familiar. I have made this exact cake mix before, however, I made it with a different icing. This time I have the Deluxe Salted Caramel Icing. Laura and Raphael sent this to us from the United Kingdom, so I'm just going to make both of these in this video. If you already watched me make this cake in the previous video, you can skip forward until I just get to the icing part, or until we get to the end and we're trying this cake with this icing, because it will be different. But it should be fun still. Okay, so the cake, this is for the icing. We'll talk about this later, the butter. But for the cake, you need 3 eggs, and then you need 150 milliliters of milk and 150 milliliters of oil. And the first thing you want to do is you want to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. You want to add all 3 of your eggs to your mixing bowl. And you are going to, it says to whisk these until they double in size. Now, that did not happen to me last time, I just want you to know, but the cake was absolutely delicious. So we're going to whisk this on high until it doubles in size, is what they say. Okay, those look pretty good. I think those got whisked better than in the last video I did. So you want to take this and you want to set it to the side, and then you want to get your box mix, and you pour it into your bowl. And your milk and oil. And now we're gonna mix it until it's all well incorporated. Now here's how it looks mixed. So now you want to take your egg mixture and you take half, you only take half of it, pour it in, and then you fold this into the chocolate. Then you can put, once you see that that's folded in, get the remainder of your eggs. I have my 2 cake pans and I've lined them with parchment paper, and this is not the perfect way to do this because it will leave lumps and bumps in the bottom, but since I'm going to cover it with icing anyway, I really don't care. But you're going to divide it between the 2 pans, and this is kind of iffy too because, you know, how do you know what's half? You could weigh it, I guess. Now you want to shake this a little bit to get it even on the bottom. And then you want to bake these for 20 to 25 minutes. I'll probably put it in for 22 minutes, and then I'll check on it. Okay, here are the cakes, and I love having it on the parchment paper because you can just take it out like this. It's really, really easy. But what I want to do, don't want to crack it. I'm gonna lay it like that. So your pan is completely clean, and so I'm just gonna let this other one lay here on this cooling rack while we go deal with the icing over here. What you need, this is the Deluxe Salted Caramel Icing, and you can make the buttercream, you can make a drizzle, or you can make a pouring sauce. So you can actually, if you don't have a cake to put it on, you can use this as like a sauce over ice cream. So what you need is, you need the icing mix, 135 grams of softened butter, which is what's in here, and a splash of milk. So the first thing I want to do is I want to beat this butter until it gets nice and creamy. Here is my butter, and I scraped it down, you can see. So what you want to do is you want to take your mix, and first you want to work it in by hand into the butter, because you want to try to avoid as much dust as you can, which no matter what, you're gonna have some, I think. Okay, so now we're just gonna work this in by hand, and then once we've got it worked in a little bit, then we're going to whisk it. So all I did was mash that butter in a little bit so that it wasn't as clumpy. And now I'm gonna turn this on low because there's still gonna be some powder. Directions also say that if it's too thick, add a splash of milk. Well, for me, that is too thick to go over the cake, to get it smooth on the cake. So I am gonna add a little milk. Just a splash, and then keep going. So this only gives you enough to, it's called a naked cake. And so that means that the sides aren't frosted. That means that just the middle and the top is frosted. So that looks pretty good, and because I want to make sure that I have enough for the top. And you could, that caramel is so strong. So here's my top. And you see, I just used a spatula. So basically, I'm going to use the rest of this on the top. I'm going to cut us a piece. We'll see how it looks. Just going to cut it straight across. That is very pretty. So now Kevin and I will try a piece. Are you ready?
I'm ready. It smells really good. It smelled good the whole time she was baking it.
That caramel is delicious.
It is. And
Absolutely.
You can taste the graininess, like sugar in there. It's really good.
Yeah, there's some texture to it. Very buttery. Very buttery.
It's rich without being sweet.
Yeah, you get the caramel.
Overly sweet.
You get the caramel and the butter, and with that cake, gosh, that's good.
The frostings here tend to be very sweet, like almost like too sweet.
Right.
And the cakes really don't have a lot of flavor if you think about it. If you just eat one of the pieces of cake by itself, it's kind of, I mean, the flavor's there, but it's kind of bland. These, you get the really good chocolate flavor of the cake by itself. Then you get this really rich flavor of the frosting. It's really good.
So good.
And it's got a lot of flavor, and it's rich without being overly sweet like our frostings are here. Over here, it seems like they just kill it with sugar.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they do.
Whereas these tend to be more
flavorful.
Flavorful without all the sugar.
Without all the sugar, I get that.
Of course, the buttercream is kind of like that anyway. Buttercream is kind of rich without having too much. I mean, the buttercreams I've made is pretty sweet. Right. It seems like it's butter and powdered sugar.
Right. But, and this isn't like that.
No, it doesn't seem to be like that at all. It's really good though.
If I lived there and I was gonna make somebody a cake for a special occasion, for a birthday,
or a move-in cake,
I would definitely buy one of these Paul Hollywood cakes.
Oh, they're really
I love this. Like I said, this is the second one of these that I made, and this is terrific. It just depends on what mood you're in. If you want caramel, then get this one. If you want the chocolate, they have that one. And Kevin and I were just discussing, because I had wondered why the cake mix is in a box and the icing is in a resealable pouch, because both times that I've made the icing, I have made all of it to put on the cake. But Kevin said that's because you don't use all of it.
You only use like 100 grams of it if you're making like the sauce or the drizzle.
For like ice cream or something like that. So you can save this, you wouldn't have to use the whole pouch. But for the cake, of course, you're going to use it all. But that's why it's in a resealable.
Would a drizzle be like something you put over a bundt cake of some kind, where you drizzle it over the top?
Yes.
It's a watery or thinner, not watery, it's thinner frosting, right? Where it runs instead of spread.
Yes. Well,
it's really good.
This is terrific.
I actually like this one better than the chocolate, because the chocolate was chocolate on chocolate, and it was too much chocolate for me. This one's really good. I like the difference with the chocolate and the salted caramel. They go good together.
Oh, it's really, really good. And like we said earlier, the texture, there's a texture in the caramel that it's I don't know what that is, but it's
like a grainy, sugary kind of texture.
Really, really good. So thank you so much to Laura and Raphael for sending this to us. We really appreciate it. I hope that you all tried one of these cakes for yourself. If any of you out there have made one of his cakes, if you've tried, if they have different icings, let me know in the comments below, because I've tried now the chocolate and the caramel, but I'm sure during the summer he probably has strawberry, and I don't know what the popular flavors are during the different times of year in the United Kingdom. So you all will have to let me know, because I'm curious about that. But thank you all for sending this, and we'll catch you next time.